For that story, and that is good news for both the teachers and the students. And the former Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission boss of Fuller Chebukati has blamed the recent wave of coups in West Africa for a lack of observers to oversee the crucial exercises. Chebukati, who has been busy on social media in the past few days, says election observers are critical as they contribute towards the transparency and accountability of elections. Chebukati has been actively posting on communication platform X, putting up a defense for the highly contested 2022 presidential elections. KTN's Emmanuel To reports.
In response to the ongoing spate of coups in the West African region, the former Electoral Commission boss Wafula Chebukati, who has been active on communication platform X in the past week, waded into the trending topic of the military takeover in Gabon. Chebukati posted, quote, "The avalanche of election-related military coups in Africa disrupts democratic gains," adding that in the most of the elections, observers were excluded from the electoral process. Chebukati completing by reiterating the importance of election observers to transparent and accountable election outcomes.
Du peuple gabonais et garant de la protection des institutions.
Chebukati's statement comes hours after the deposed President Ali Bongo Ondimba solicited help after he was placed under house arrest by members of his presidential guard in an ongoing coup.
I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise,
Africa has had 7 coups in 3 years in Niger, Burkina Faso, Sudan, Guinea and Mali. Chebukati has also been at the forefront in defending last year's presidential polls, saying the exercise was above board.
What we did in 2022 is we said we are not transmitting the text message of the results from the polling stations, because what happens when you transmit the text and then the results forms comes, there's always a problem between the text and the result forms. And then that creates room for misinformation and disinformation again. Then people say, the words used in Kenya is that you are cooking the results.
While speaking to a research organization, the former Electoral Commission boss said the electoral transmission systems ensured the country held the freest, the fairest and the most credible election in the history of elections in Kenya.
We created a QR code, a 15-digit QR code for each polling station, and gave the rights to the specific station to the presiding officer so that it can be biometrically identified before he scans and sends the image.
As expected, Chebukati has had a few run-ins with some of the ex-users, telling him off for allegedly bungling the election. The Third Way Alliance leader Ekuru Aukot, who had expressed interest in the country's top job, crying foul for being locked out of the race. Even then, Chebukati had a ready answer for him, telling him he simply did not make the cut. The former elections boss has maintained a somewhat private profile since his retirement in January this year. The Supreme Court of Kenya upheld IEBC's decision to declare William Ruto as president by 7.1 million votes against Azimio's Raila Odinga's 6.9 million votes. Emmanuel To, KTN News, Nairobi.
Conferences focuses on forgotten population living with HIV.